Okay. Water. Done. Hey guys, it's later than normal today because I had to take my son to an eye doctor appointment this morning. So I promised that I would have a plan for today, and I do, believe it or not. Um, it did get changed. I was going to make cards because I have a market this weekend, but yeah. Uh, I don't know what's happening here. Let me close this. 1 second. Sorry, technical difficulties. Always. There we go. So, yes, I had to take my son to his eye doctor's appointment this morning. So everything is delayed. Everything is delayed. But yeah, I did have a plan. I was going to make cards because I had a market this weekend that I have to go to, and I wanted some additional confirmation cards because 'tis the season. So I wanted to have some uh, different designs for people to choose from. But then I had signed up for this 10-day challenge, and it's called Painting the Wilderness, the Seascapes edition. If you're interested in it at all, you can go to the account that's running it, Colby Bloom, and she's at this writing desk on Instagram and YouTube. And I'm actually just going to be following along with one of her videos today. This challenge, she's in the US, so the challenge actually started yesterday, but I didn't get the email about it until really late at night. So I'm just going to be a day behind on all of it. But I'm going to try regardless. So this challenge is for 10 days, and I'm going to paint one picture that she gives a tutorial for every day for the next 10 days. I have not decided if I'm going to stream all of them because that's a lot of streaming, and there may be times where I'm very much interrupted, with family and life. So in fact, I'm going to say I probably will not have a lot of extra streams about this, but I will do my regular Tuesday and Friday. So, what this is, she's a painter and she gives classes somewhere, and I'm pretty sure you could probably find out. No, I don't want to update Twitch. Now would be a very inconvenient time, but thank you for asking. You can find out on her Instagram page, and she probably has a website too if you go into her bio on Instagram, or you can just search at this writing desk on YouTube and find it. This is day one, again, Painting the Wilderness, the Seascapes edition. And yeah, the picture looks really interesting. I would love to show you, but I didn't print it out, so I can't. But the picture looks really nice, and let's see if I can manage it. It's all about learning and growing, and I love taking classes, so that's what we're gonna do. I forgot to prep paper towels, so I'm just doing this. I actually think I'm going to knit or crochet myself some cloths that I can just have in here so I do not go through, well, that's a lot of paper towels anyway, so I don't go through as many, and then I can just wash them. They won't look nice, but they don't have to look nice, they just have to be absorbent. So in this challenge she's using, oh, thank you, my dear, hosting. In this challenge, she's using 3 colors, and they're by Winsor Newton, which I don't have or use. I use Daniel Smith. So the color she's using is Payne's Gray, Yellow Ochre, and Lemon Yellow Deep. And since I don't have them, I am going to kind of guesstimate and mix my own colors. I do have a Payne's Gray, but the Daniel Smith one is darker. and is less blue than the Winsor & Newton version. And you would think like it's the same name of the color, so it should be the same, but it's not even remotely the same. So yeah, so I'm going to make do with what I have, and I am going to mix my own colors. So she uses a 10, 6, and 2, and I have a 12, 6, and 2, and I think that'll be fine. And of course I'm going to wet everything down with my Da Vinci flat brush. And I'm not going to sketch anything. I'm just going to get in with mixing. So I should actually, before I do anything, I should really see what those colors are and just take a peek online. Yellow, I don't even think the Daniel Smith yellow ochre is the same as, okay, it's like, all right, so that's where I was going to go with that color. And then lemon yellow deep. That's a big bright color, and I have a Hansa yellow light, which it could work, so we'll use that. And then the Payne's Gray, which as I explained, I don't have. I do have Payne's Gray, but not the same brand. So the Winsor & Newton one is really more bluey. Okay, so I'm gonna mix my own. And I think, oh, here's a comparison picture. One is by Daniel Smith, one is by, I don't know the name of that. I've never even seen it. And then there's a Winsor & Newton. Okay. So it's more blue than black, and my Payne's Gray is actually more black than anything else. So I'm just gonna mix what I can and see. I'm gonna turn down my volume. I'm not sure if I probably could have had the sound come through on this video because it's just a tutorial and it's out there free for everyone anyway, but you know, I kind of don't want to, I just started doing this stuff and I don't want to get in trouble right away because yeah, there's a lot of rules. So this is I'm going to use Hansa yellow light, and then I'm going to mix it with some New Gamboge. No. Yes. No. Okay. So this is the New Gamboge, and what I had planned to do is mix the New Gamboge with Nickel Azo Yellow to kind of get that yellow ochre color. And then I have Hansa Yellow Light and she has Deep, so I was going to mix something in with that as well to kind of make it a little bit more rich. So, but let's mix this main color first. The Nickel Azo is more like a mustardy color, like a dull color. So that should be yellow ochre-ish. Mine, I think, is a little bit brighter, but I don't really think that's a problem. This is going to be like a sunset over the water, so that's kind of sunsetty color. And then this one is a light, and I was gonna just mix in a little buff titanium to kind of flatten it or deepen it a little bit. And I don't actually know if this is gonna work, so we'll see. And I don't know, maybe a little bit more. It would help to know exactly what color. No, I think that looks good. I don't even know. That's a little deeper than it was. So that's very nice. And then last but not least, I'm going to reawaken this because I know this is like some blue and Payne's Gray mix that I had before. And, or maybe it's Moon Glow, I'm not sure. But it's going to become this like darkish navy blue kind of color. It's really hard to I don't have the paint in front of me, so I'm kind of just going blind and looking at pictures on the internet, which is not always 100%. But I think this will work. And I'm going to put a lot of paint and really get this nice and filled because I'll be dipping into it a lot. And then I'll save this other well because as we go on, we get darker. So I'll just, this I'm going to really lighten up a lot. Or maybe I'll put the lighter one here. And just add some water to it. And then I can add in the Payne's Gray. So I was thinking about mixing these colors first, but they would dry out by the time I got everything ready and set to stream. So you have to be patient and watch as I mix a color that I'm not exactly sure what is and try to get something that I think will work. I think that's fine. And then this will be a much lighter version, just a lot more water. And we'll use that for the sky. I did watch the video, and if you want the link to the video that I'm going to be using as a tutorial, let me know and I can pop it into chat. Maybe that needs to be a little bit lighter. Just take a card and test it. Oh, that's actually not too bad at all. And then this one will be much deeper. Yeah, I think that'll work well. So I don't know if that's the color it's supposed to be, but it's the color that I'm going to go with. So I'm just going to make just a little bit more of this watercolor, the color that I'm going to be using for the water in watercolor. Now it's just getting silly. So just adding a lot more blue. The Payne's Gray is going to really pick up and kind of take over that blue. So I don't need nearly as much of it. All right, that's a good amount of paint. And then I think also I need to move, because I can't see what you see unless I do this. Okay. Because I need to have the mini player. Oh, look at that. Nope. Go back. And now I lost my place. Okay. All right. So lighter yellow, a deeper yellow, a wash of the watercolor, and then a really concentrated version. And I'll just add water as I go along in here. And then eventually just add more paint so it gets darker. Okay. So I'm just going to wet down this paper a bit and then start on the sky. And again, if you want any of the links to the video tutorial that I'm using, just give a shout out. Although, hold on, because actually don't give a shout out yet because I can't see chat. For some reason, my phone in front of me that has chat on so I can briefly look up and see has disconnected, and I don't know how to get it back. So we're going to try. All right. Your live channels. How about my actual channel? That would be good. Like my channel? There we go. I can't watch anyone else right now. I'm doing my own thing. Okay. So what she's done is just gone in with a somewhat diluted version of this yellow ochre and then just kind of made shapes and added some up to the sky. And mine looks way brighter than hers. But I think that'll be okay. I'm going to dilute this bottom one though, just a bit. I'm just going to take some clean water and move it around. Lighten it up in certain areas. And then also just add some variation in here. And now, I don't know if she, ooh, I think she dries it and then she waits for, and then she adds the next layer, but I don't think she's there yet. And I'm just taking some clean water to kind of preserve this middle area where there's like sun. Okay. All right. And I was thinking, I don't know what my heat gun sounds like for you guys. So is it okay that I try it out and you can let me know if it's too loud? That sounds like a possible thing. I don't want to blow your ears away. But I know it's kind of like irritating to constantly hear me say like, oh, okay, I'll be right back. So I think that's doable. We can try one time. I feel like I'm negotiating with my kid. We can just try one time. Yes, no? All right, I'm gonna try it. And If it is too loud, I want you to holler, and then I'll mute going forward. So, I mean, it just sounds like a hairdryer, but I don't know what this mic will do to it. So, 1 second, let's find out. I really hope it's not too loud. Okay, how was that? Honestly, be very honest and tell me, was that too loud? You can go back into hiding after. You don't have to ever say another thing. I just need to know if that works. Okay, now I'm going to re-wet the paper. I need to just actually go back a little bit and see how far down she went. It looks like she's adding some color to the center. But I actually think that it looks fairly decent as it is. It looks really yellow though, so I don't know. You like it. Tell me, was the heat gun too loud? Did you hear it? Did it blow you away? I need to know that part. Okay. This looks like, all right. This looks like she just wet the whole top again. And I'm gonna do the same. But I'm gonna stop about there. And then she proceeded to add this really watered down color. She kind of went over this area here. And maybe I'm going to water it down just a little bit more. Because I can always go darker, but I can't go lighter. And she just then along the top here. I wish they had, you know how on your phone, like you can click once on a video and skip 10 seconds? I don't know how to do that actually on the computer, and I wish I did. Because, nope. Okay. I just have to suffer through. Okay. She's got more along the sides. And like that. I'm just going to clean off these edges here with the dry brush because I don't want any puddles and I don't want things to be suddenly green. my water already is. And then I'm just going to lightly go around and preserve that shape. But I will add just a tiny bit more of the yellow. And that was too much. So and then she has a little bit of this yellow coming in from the sides. And I did not want that to happen, but I wanted it up here instead. Okay, so now she's just gone on. Let's see, about here. So now she lets this dry. Okay. I'm going to mute you now because nobody answered me. So where can I do that though? Here. Move this closer. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so now I really wish there was a better way to control YouTube videos. But the heat from the heat gun keeps loosening the glue on the tape, and until it cools off, it's going to keep lifting, which is why I'm continuously rubbing like this, because this is a really wet piece. So yeah, we need to keep it as flat as possible. I mean, there's ways to fix it after, but all right. So now what she's done is gone in, and we're working on the water now. So about here ish, just clean water, and then she just starts painting all this nonsense. She's going really light, and that wasn't dry enough because now I've just gone and moved a lot of the yellow around, and I don't want green, so I'm going to take a dry brush and remove it at least from the sides. I should have felt it. Lesson learned. This has so many layers though too, I'm not sure it's going to matter, but I really don't want any of them to be like very muddy. So I wanted to have the movement that I originally intended from watching the video. Okay, so that is now wet. I will add a little bit more water, carefully going from the outside in. And then up along at the top, because careful. Okay. So now she comes in with this really light wash. And I have I need to pause it. I have, what do you call it? Make this bigger. What are these things? You know, when they put the words on the paper, I mean, words on the screen, the subtitles. I have subtitles on because I don't know if I can play, or yeah, subtitles, closed captioning. I have that on because I don't know if I can play her audio. So, but now they're in the way of seeing what I'm doing. So, hooray. So she just comes in, adds splashes of color, and she's just making various swipes with this color. She comes along the top. And I'm going to add just a little paint and darken it up a little bit. She's just really being very messy. Just adding along the sides and then kind of just sweeping through. Just in certain places here. And then up again along the top. And then she's going in with darker, but I'm pretty sure that she's dried it. So I'm going to pause this, finish what I was doing. And it really looks like I've added too much water. So I'm going to pull some away. I think that's one of the things that I've struggled most is, and it's like just a normal like learning thing, is how much water to use. And I haven't quite got there yet, but I'm working on it. All right, we'll be right back. Okay. When you're painting, the paper pops up and it kind of swells up. And then as you're drying, it shrinks back down. You can actually see it moving. Kind of cool. I wish I don't have any stronger tape that could just keep the tape of the tape down. I don't really think there's a way around that. I have thicker tape. Maybe that'll work. Still like the same. Actually, it's probably a little bit stronger. And all right. It's worth a try. All you can do is learn. And taking this off the board is going to be really fun though. Now this will be like, you make the 12th piece of tape on the board. But maybe it'll help. Maybe I need a stronger tape. Or at least a stronger supporting tape. Oops. I think I need to take my sweater off. It's a pretty nice day. Not as warm as it has been the past couple days, but it seems a bit warm in my office. And I have already shut off my heat. So could it be the 14,000 lights on my desk? I live in Norway. It's impossible to see anything in the wintertime, so I have a lot of lights on my desk. All right. Now that's that. And I need to just reverse in the video a few seconds to see if she wets. Maybe she says it. I hope she doesn't say it. All right. I just need to see if she wets everything again. And I'm going to grab a drink of water. Okay, come on. Interesting. So she's gone up higher now. And she's wet just like this little area. So she has, and then she's working back and forth and making this darker and reinforcing this yellow. And now she wets everything over. Okay. I'm on the same page. Pause, pause, pause. All right. Her painting looks stunning. So I really do hope that mine comes out fairly decent. I would settle for decent. I would be happy with decent. So she comes up higher. What's this area here? And then comes in with a smaller brush and uses a deeper color. It comes along the top and lets it work itself down. And I think she has a lot more water. So like this-ish. My tape keeps popping up. I think I'm gonna have to find something new. And then works this in down here, but comes back in with the yellow. And kind of deepens this color in here and does a bit of a blend. So now I'm just going to use some water and just go along and move this color around a bit. She seems to like blend them without making them muddy. She seems to also just have more interruptions than kind of what I have here. So just add that in, and then I'm going to take some clean water and just soften this bottom so it fades. And then it looks like she goes back in with, what's this down here? And just adds a little bit more water. Okay. Now she comes in with a deeper blue, or Payne's Gray mix in my case. And what does she do? She gets messy. So she just starts. Okay, now she sped it up. So pause there. She just starts adding in movement and paint from the sides. Trying to preserve the sun that will be reflecting. She just kind of gets messy. Of course, hers looks way better than mine, but I'm going to try one thing, and if this tape doesn't stick after this, adding even more. So this is just a bone meal folder? No. All right, if it pops up after that, getting more tape. All right, so yeah. Now I'm going to mute you and dry it. If I can find, I can need to put a hotkey on that. I seem to be muting a lot more than normal because you won't tell me if it's too loud with the dryer. Be right back. Okay. Let me just press down this tape. I think it, from what I'm seeing on the video, it looks like we're going dry on dry, and everything up till now has been wet on wet. But oh no. No, she did more. Huh. I dried it too soon. She did more. She added some darker in underneath, and then she actually reinforced the yellow in the center. But I don't actually think, I think I've left a good amount of yellow, so I'm not sure I really need to do that. I also think I need to make it just a little bit, no, I'm not changing the color, that's what it is. So now, all right, one more session with wet on wet. She's made some of the blue deeper in various degrees, and then she's gone over the sunset on the water again. I was thinking that I should make it more like a deeper orange color, but I actually don't, I don't want to kind of like play with the recipe now. You know, just learning what to do, so I think I will stay. And she's gone in with a deeper, so I'm just pulling up some of this concentrated paints in with where there's more water. And she looks to have made a lot of just like kind of, oops, that was probably an oops. Maybe that's why she also, I don't want to take away the yellow, but by trying to make it a little bit deeper, I have done that, which is probably why she then did. All right, so it can't hurt, and that's what she did, and I'm going by tutorial. So clean my brush and grab some more of this. I'm not going with a really dark color. I'm gonna plenty of water in here. Just gonna add some back in. And I think the top is good. The top got really deep. And then I'm going to just go back in and kind of lighten up some of these areas. I don't know why I'm doing this, but that's what she was doing. Maybe you need to have like a decent amount of the light, so when you add in the dark. Mine also look very straight across, very square, just lines. She has a lot more movement, so I think I am going to just come in and make some diagonal slashes just to kind of show some more movement. And maybe it's too late at this point, but maybe when it dries it won't matter. And then come back in and kind of soften so they're not so strong. The edges of these. Preserve some of that yellow. All right. Now I'm going to dry it again. So again, be right back. Okay. Now, I think this is the scary part because then this is where she just doesn't do any more wet on wet. She just goes in with wet on dry. And I've been focusing on this so much that I have not noticed how light this top section is. So I think it needs to be darker. So I'm going to go back to the top. And I'm just going to wet it and do a wet on wet. And that's it. And I have a lot of water here. So I'm going to soak up and remove without hopefully disturbing the paint underneath. And I think we'll come just, yeah. So I'm gonna stir up this lighter and just make it a little bit darker and go back over the sky. And I'm going to come in different directions to kind of show some movement and still preserving this whole thing. But I'm not coming in just with the blue. I'm actually going to come in with this color as well. And I'm going to make some kind of uneven, just splotches of color around, while still preserving this kind of center sun. And I think I'll take some clean water and soften the edges. Just kind of move the color around a little bit, help it move. I do want some color kind of leaking in, but I also want some variations. And I think this actually looks decent. I just added a tiny bit of new gamboge so I can kind of deepen some of the color in some of the areas here. Just variation. I'm just helping it move a little bit in certain areas. And then I think I'm gonna try again with the blue. And I'll come in a little bit darker and just drop that in. And we'll see what it does. Like that. And I want to say that I don't want to dry it, but I really do, because I don't want to wet this bottom and then accidentally destroy everything on the top. So, 1 second. Yeah, I like that so much better. So much better. That top. Yeah. It looks really bright, from what I can tell from the preview, but I really like that. All right, now this part here is, I think what she described it as when I first saw the video, is this is the scary part, because we are going to go really dark. I don't have too much of a problem with it, but I do get scared in the beginning because I just don't know. It's so hard to take away, even in watercolor, once you've put a dark color down. So I think I'll be okay with this, but let's just see what she does. And let's see how, I know she's going to go really dark, but let's see how she does it. She is kind of using this concentrate here. And I thought I actually mixed up enough, but as you can see, I think I need to mix up some more. So let me do that first. And I am using a mix of Mayan Blue, I think it's Maya Blue Genuine, which is like a beautiful blue. I can't describe it other than it's not pure blue. It's like this blue. I don't know. What color blue is that? Like a navy, but with depth, I guess. I don't know. It's called Maya Blue Genuine. I'm pretty sure. And now go back in and grab some Payne's Gray. And at first I'm just going to drop it in the bottom here, so I can get enough of what I want, and then I'll mix it together. Oh, doesn't that look scary? I think it looks super pretty. This is very concentrated, so I think I'm going to add just a little bit of water. I'm just going to kind of bring over this lighter version and mix it in there. And that's not enough. So let's see what that does. I took a class on Skillshare, and it was this like kind of advanced mixing class for watercolors. And this lady was so far out of my league. It was not even funny. I learned so much, and I saved it so that I could watch it again. But she was talking about colors. Like, this is like just an example of the Daniel Smith colors that you can get, right? And when I say like, oh yeah, this is Maya blue, Mayan dark blue, or is it genuine? Nope, Mayan blue genuine. So if we look at that, you can just see what the color is, right? And then it tells you how it's available, the light fastness, and there's a lot of things about it. But she was talking about these colors by their actual color name, which is crazy to me. Like this cerulean blue is like PB35. So you can find other colors that have like this PB35 thing, and that's just what the color is, and you can find where else it's mixed, and that's how she was referring to colors. And I am not there. I'm not even there. I'm like, yep, Quinn Red, got it. I know what I'm talking about. It's a color. I have an idea. I have it marked, whether it's like transparent, not. But a lot of this stuff I don't really know yet, or don't pay attention to, or maybe just don't care. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, she was going by the actual pigment color numbers. And I cannot do that. But, and I don't even think I ever want to. I'm happy just saying, oh yeah, I'm using Mayan Blue Genuine. And then that's it. And then we're done. Not going into the breakdown of the individual colors, especially since it's a mineral color. And apparently it doesn't go by that. So, all right. So I was adding, I think I wanted to add a little bit more water because this is still really thick. There we go. Now I have a lot of really nice paint. If I need to go darker, I'll add a little bit more color and a little bit, it doesn't have to be mixed perfectly, so that's really nice. So let's see what she does. She comes in and, oh, she has now switched brushes to a smaller one. But I don't, yeah, fine, okay. So I need to, I have a number 6 somewhere here. Oh, that's number 4. Nope. And that's an 8. Oh, here's my 6. Okay. I need to go backwards a bit. I really wish these subtitles, like you could move them in the video, or I could play it and you couldn't hear it. That would be good too. So she is just coming in and she is adding movement. She's starting at the bottom and maybe I have diluted this too much. We'll see. And she's just making kind of wave shapes and just flicks here and there through it. And she had a term for this. Interrupted painting, I think. I think that's what she called it, because you're not using like a full stroke. And now she's sped up a lot. And I'm going to pause there. I'm going to add a little bit more paint because she seems a little darker than me. It's really hard to tell though. But I can see her paint much easier than I can see mine. So and she's just adding just little strokes. She needs to come up here a little bit. And she's added a lot, actually. She's come in. And that would be a really good example of me not being able to control the water. So I'm just using my brush so that the paint comes off, and then sucking up what I can. This is like a Sears like multi-layered thing. And I don't know if she's drying it in between. I don't really think she is. I think she's just kind of making shapes and just seeing as they dry. But she's going over the same areas. She's just kind of slowly adding a lot of movement. And I do not think that mine is going to look the same as hers, but I don't think it might actually turn out that bad. She's just doing a real variation of like a mix between like some horizontal strokes and some curved strokes. All right. She did say that one of the things that she learned, because I watched this whole video first, and she wishes she could have preserved a little bit more of the light space. So I'm trying to follow along with what she's doing, but not actually degrade as much of the light space as she has. So yeah. I know you have to learn by doing, but maybe you could just learn also by example sometimes. So I don't know. I'm trying to add variation without taking away everything and not having it look like there's just blobs of or lines of color just everywhere. Trying to meld it all together. Okay. So now looks like she lets it dry a bit. Yeah, because she's put up. And now she seems to be going back in with a little bit darker. So I'm going to pull out some more of the Payne's Gray. Mix that in. But her strokes are getting smaller and smaller. So I'm going to pause that there. She's really making very messy strokes. She's not really, I mean, she's really making a mess, but she's not filling out as much area. So like, yeah, these the first time were bigger and thicker, and now the strokes are getting smaller and more deliberate, I guess, to really throw in some sections of deep of contrast. To me, this really kind of feels like there's so much paint on it. So it's probably still a problem of me not controlling my water well enough. Maybe my paint is really too thick. So maybe this will work better. But now it actually seems a little too diluted. So I don't know. To me, it all seems like a black blob. And it also seems like I've lost a lot more of that lighter blue underneath it. So now it seems really dark, and I could wish that I had some more of this blue back. I guess I could try and soften it out a little bit. I'm just watching the next kind of step here. She's coming back up over the top and adding in just some lines and some movement. She's really not, she's just making a mess. And she actually says, I'm just making a mess. Oh, I have to move this thing. I keep hitting it. So I think what I'm going to do is add a bit of color here and then water it down. And maybe I can go back in and kind of preserve these, can soften out these sections here. So I can keep some of that lighter blue, and maybe I don't even need to use paint. Maybe we'll just use some water. Just kind of soften these things up a bit. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I won't get everything muddied. Maybe it'll blend a little bit more, or better, easier. I don't want to really overwork it, but at the same time, I'm not exactly thrilled with the direction it's going. I really think that it's become too dark too quick, and I've lost some of the lighter blue that it needs to go past the to have the contrast of the darker blue. But now I think I'm also by doing this, I'm kind of shrinking the areas of the light. I'm still, like I said, trying to preserve it, but trying to soften where it meets. Maybe can't do both. I don't know. It just seemed really, really thick. And there's still like many, many more layers to go. So now I think I'll just use some clean water and kind of clean up a little bit of what the mess I made, to preserve those lighter areas. I do think I was able to bring back though some of that lighter blue a bit. Maybe I can sneak it. Shh, don't tell anyone. I think I was able to sneak a little bit in. Maybe not as much, but do you have any thoughts? What are you thinking? I think it got so dark so early that I can't actually build up contrast because it's so dark. And I'm probably quickly becoming close to overworking. But I can't help myself. Not when I know how many more layers there are. All right. So I think that I have made a mess. That's what I think I've done. and I'm okay with that. I think I just need to bring back some of this lighter blue. Because some of this really dark, that's just sitting here. It's just sitting on the paper. It's not really, it's not moving, it hasn't done anything. If I add over it, it's just going to be really thick paint. And I don't want that. So I think I'm going to pause, yeah, mute you for a second. Oh my goodness. Geninator. Thank you for all of the follows. I've never been rated before. This is my first time. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm shocked right now. Wow. Thank you for the follows also. My goodness. Wow. Hi. Yes, Generator, you are my very first raid. I'm speechless. Really lovely to meet you. I'm gonna come and follow you after because I don't actually know how to do that right now. I'm gonna, yeah. Guys, I'm really honored, and if you stick around, I'll be very happy. Thank you so much. Yeah, you just made me feel so special. Hi, Kaylee, Athena. Thank you. Let me, okay, I'm gonna pause for a second. Maybe I'll give this time to naturally dry. Whew. And get a drink of water, collect myself. Art Twitch is great. I've just been sitting here by my little lonesome for a bit now, so that's not true. There have been some people watching, but not many chatters. So I'm trying to learn and do and chat at the same time, which is I'm not really sure how I've been doing. Thank you for all the follows. Speedle123, Haggy65, Lorem1984. I really hope I don't let you guys down. What I am doing today, there is a person on Instagram who, this is her Painting the Wilderness 10-day challenge, and this is the Seascapes edition. The artist's name is Colby Bloom. She's on Instagram, she's on YouTube. Her name that you would like at is at this writing desk. And I signed up for this 10-day challenge because I don't have the most experience. I've just been in watercolor now for like I don't know, some months. So yeah, so I'm pushing myself and I'm doing a tutorial, and this is day one of the Painting the Wilderness 10-day challenge. It actually was yesterday, but because I'm in Norway, I didn't get the email until later. So I'm working on day one, and this is day one. And I'm making a big, huge mess, but I'm just following the tutorial that's available on YouTube. You can actually follow it and paint along with me if you want, although I'm kind of far in. But that's what we're doing today. Thank you for... Oh, you're another watercolor artist too. That's so awesome. I am definitely going to turn and follow you right after. I really want to improve in watercolor, but I typically color in Copics and like colored markers, not colored markers, colored pencils, those kind of things. And I make a lot of greeting cards, but I really want to expand. So I'm trying to push myself, and that's actually why I'm doing this stream as well. I seriously sit here and I'm like, why would anybody want to see me do this? Like, I don't know. Uh, it doesn't make sense to me. But I guess there is a market for it and it's good to share, so that's why I'm doing it. I just want to inspire. I'm not a teacher per se. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm learning as I'm going. So I just want to, yeah, if I can do it, anyone can do it, and I can try, and anyone can try with me. So thank you, Kaylee. Thank you for the compliment on the Instagram post. I'm actually pretty shy, and I don't actually like to post on social media that much. So I do a lot more than is there, but I'm trying to get better. So thank you. Um, my setup is already 1,000 times better than my. No, this is my phone. This is just my phone. And I don't actually have that good a phone. So, but thank you. I work in Copic markers, color pencils. Sometimes I use a little gouache, you know. But those are my main mediums. Watercolor is the latest in the obsession of art supply collecting that I do. Still timing out new people. I I don't I don't know what that means. Am I timing you out? Oh, I have a setting wrong. Set to ban peeps who speak only in emojis. Yes, we will fix that. I don't know how to fix that, but I'm going to write that down and fix that. Uh, fix, what am I fixing? I'm fixing something. Fix emojis. Yeah. I didn't like it when I was seeing like, like a dozen faces because I don't actually know what the emojis mean. So, but three's good. Three's good. Thank you so much. I can't type anymore. No laptop, keyboard. Oh, yikes. Are you okay? Is your computer okay? I'm watching to learn and eventually to apply to my works. I I hope that you're inspired just by watching and seeing me fail. You know that movie, The Robinsons? It's like an animated movie where you fail and they go, hooray, you failed, and it's a big thing. I really think that is true, um, and I'm happy to fail in even in front of people, so people can just try. That's my thing. Wonderful to push yourself. I find watching people paint very calming and inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing. I thank you. That's exactly why I'm doing it. Um, I really just want to learn, and I want people to. I don't want it so that it looks like it's easy, so you want to do it. I just want you to see that you can make mistakes and you can just still do it. This is not a masterpiece. It's a tutorial that I'm just following along with. So I'm really happy that if you guys want to sit and watch me make mistakes, that we could do it, or even better, make the same mistakes together. That would be really great. Looks really cool in watercolor for the win. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I am the tutorial is like 20 minutes long. I'm about 13 minutes into it on this part. So what I was doing is I was going backwards a bit. I really felt like everything was getting too dark too quickly, and I've watched this video before trying it, so I knew where the steps would be. And it was really getting very dark very quickly. So I was trying to kind of smush around the colors and blend them so that I was getting some of that lighter blue back in, because you can't have like a good contrast with the dark blue without any of the lighter blue. And then I didn't want this yellow to be not blended enough, so it was just like a pooh, here's a piece of yellow. So that's where I was at. I was making a mess. That's exactly what I was doing. I was just using some water and kind of diluting some of the darker color, and then I was trying to preserve some of these the sunlight sections. So what I was going to do before you guys scared the heck out of me, and I'm really very honored. Thank you for the raid. Um, Still blows my mind, but so what I was gonna do was just give this give this a quick dry with the heat gun. Um, because I want to go back in. I still have to go darker and have more layers, but I want to have a little bit more control, so I want to dry this. So I'm going to mute it for a second and use the heat gun, and then I'll be right back. So 1 second. Unless, oh wait, you guys are talking. If I use the heat gun, can you tell me if it's too loud? I've been muting because I don't actually know, and unless you guys tell me, I still won't ever know. So if I use it just kind of quickly, will you promise to tell me if it's too loud or if it's okay to just, yeah, that would really be very helpful if you could tell me that. Thank you so much. Can I please the sugar? Yes, I will type it in right now. I will give you the YouTube video because that's what I'm watching. If I can get here. And then the artist that you want to follow, both on YouTube and Instagram, is Colby Bloom. And she's, where's at? Yeah, at this writing task. Go. Yeah, there you go. So that's the YouTube video that I'm following now. And but don't compare the two, because she knows what she's doing and I'm clueless. And yeah, no comparisons. Thank you, Speedo. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to just dry this quickly, and then please tell me. Yeah, if it's too loud. That's all I need to know. And I'm really sorry. Be prepared to turn your speakers down in case it really is loud. Let me know though. Okay, what's the verdict? Did I blow your ears away? Or is it okay? Should I mute every time? I guess is really the information that I need to know. You're kidding. You didn't hear anything? Oh my God. My goodness. My goddess. This microphone must be amazing then, huh? You really didn't hear that. I've been muting this whole time, thinking I was going to kill your ears. Okay. So if you're following along, if you want to look at that YouTube video, I'm about 12, 15 in or so. And it looks like I don't have the same colors as did I forget to turn it on? No. No. I could do that. Yeah. Can I make a little test talking and using the heater at the same time? Well, I don't want to heat the paper unnecessarily, so the next time, yes, I will actually do that. Um, Thank you, Kayla Athena. Did I say that right? I hope to. Have a good day at work. It's a Tuesday, so your Monday's already gone. It was really nice to meet you, and I hope I see you again soon. Thank you. Um, the next time I want to dry it, though, I will try talking and see what that's a really good idea. Thank you very much. I don't, I'm probably going to butcher your name. Is it Anda Majetta? Mayetta? In Norwegian, we would say that Anda Mayetta. Um, how bad was that? I don't know. Let me. Have a good day, Kayla. Kaylee. Kayla. Kaylee. Yep. One of the services that I provide is your mispronunciation of your name. But feel free to correct me. All right. So I'm on this video about quarter past, no, 12 minutes, 15 seconds in or so. And mine will look much darker and muddier than hers does because I was trying to fix some stuff, but I don't actually think I fixed anything. Well, maybe I did. I don't know. I did get a little bit more light blue and it doesn't look as solid lines of dark blue. So I'm just I have it on mute and I'm going by subtitles. And she is just kind of slowly adding in darker and darker pigments, but she's doing it in minimal amounts. So I'm going to pause there. She just worked on the kind of the bottom and really kind of deepened up some of this stuff, but she did it really lightly. And now that I have a little bit of the light blue back, I'm going to just add some more layers and do the same. And she's doing them more like in movement strokes. So, and because I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just kind of gonna go along and see. And then if I have to fix anything again, then I will try. Just give it a dry and try again. So I'm trying not to be too like precise. With how I put it, or that the lines are the same either. I do want nature is unpredictable. So I think that you are mixing some warm and cold, yellow and blue. Traces of red makes the muddy color. Yes, I definitely think it got way more muddy, but compared to the mistakes that I made previously, I'm willing to accept the muddiness to get back some of the lighter blue so that I do have a point to to have contrast with. So I knew that I was kind of making a mistake, and it was just going to be what it was going to be. You know, I learned maybe go lighter, easier next time. Um, but yeah, I do agree. I'm trying to vary again shapes, sizes, and just add in darker where I need it. I think I'm going to pull in a little bit more of the Mayan blue. I don't have the same colors that she's using, so I'm mixing as well. She's using, I have it written down. She's using Winsor & Newton Payne's Gray, Yellow Ochre, and Lemon Yellow Deep. And I don't use Winsor & Newton. I know that there's a distinct difference between Winsor & Newton Payne's Gray and Daniel Smith Payne's Gray, which is what I do use. So mine will not look like hers at all. The color differences are just too much, and I just tried to mix the best I could. So that's where we are. And she seems to just be kind of overlapping and crossing. And I have to keep pausing to see what she's doing. But she seems to be making some really distinct darker areas, especially kind of more towards the bottom, just using very light strokes. And she's kind of going over the yellow, I think, more than I want to. I said earlier, and I'm not sure if you guys are here, one of the lessons learned that she wrote about on her own with painting this was that she wanted to leave more white space. So I'm okay going in with little things like this to kind of show movement and variation, but hers was a lot darker with not as much sunlight areas, and I wanted to kind of keep more of that. So I'm trying to learn from her mistakes kind of as I'm going along. I don't know if I'm successful or not, but I'm learning. So that's the whole point. I'm just adding in little pieces, little squiggles here and there. I'm trying to kind of do what she does without seeing what she does. And I want to also preserve some of that these lighter kind of bluish areas. I don't mind putting a little movement through it, but I also struggle with water, which is like a big problem, I think, for most people starting out. But yeah, I struggle sometimes with water, with how much water and how much pigment, and I tend to overuse a lot. So I am going to take your advice and I'm going to give it a little shot with the heat gun, and I will talk and see if you can actually hear any of that, and I'll read your comments. Sometimes I use watercolor pens for retouching or adding details at the end. That's actually a really good idea. I do have some, what is the maker I have? What on earth are they called? I do have some, whatever the maker is. I can't quite recall right now. It's a white pen. Well, that doesn't really help you. Let me see if I can find it. How was that with speaking and using the heat gun at the same time? Sounds a bit robotic, but still agreeable. Oh, okay, so it wasn't too bad. And if I just keep the heater, if I use the heater but not speak, and then you don't hear anything, then that's actually as good as muting, right? Oh, Zig. I have zigs. That's what I have. I also have some distress ink, but they're not quite the same. But that's a really good tip, and I think maybe I can add that, keep that in the back of my head in the future. All right, she says she doesn't know exactly what she's painting. All she knows is that she wants to keep glimmers of the sun. Okay, I think I've done a little bit of a better job, and I think at this point, I I'm still watching. I'm at about 13 now. Make tinier strokes, glimmers in the wave. So I'm going to switch now, and I'm going to go to a number 2. And this is, I don't know if you guys care, silver brush. I have a couple of versions, a couple of different paintbrushes, but a lot of the people that I was taking tutorials from use this, and then you can only buy this in the US, so I had to wait and ask them for as gifts for Christmas for my parents who live in the US. So I think I'm gonna deepen this up and add a little bit more Payne's Gray. And I saw a tutorial once. I don't remember who it was from, but Payne's Gray by Winsor & Newton is way more blue than the Daniel Smith variety. So that's why I did a mix with the Mayan Blue Genuine, just to kind of get close to where she was. Nothing will be exact because I don't have the exact same tools, but it'll work. I kind of feel like I'm overworking this at this point. She's still adding more layers, and there must be a reason for it. But I think I would actually like to do this again and just go, maybe just use a pure Payne's Gray and really dilute it at times. I'm not really sure. But some of these areas are just, to me, like so dark, and I know that she wants it to be really dark. But I'm really afraid of losing this highlight area, or areas, I should say. So she's gone in more with kind of stripes, but now she's switched to more wave type shapes. So I'm just going to go in various places. Just add some kind of triangle type. And I think between all the layers, they'll hopefully show through. We'll see. It just seems so dark that I'm not sure that they will pop out or not, which is what I was trying to do by getting the blue left in. What I was trying to do by diluting the darker areas. You guys still have me all flummoxed. So now I think, for me anyway, I'm not really sure that I can get any more variation in here. I think that I've just overworked certain areas, that it doesn't matter what I add to it, they're just going to be that dark. So while I don't think it looks horrible, I don't think it looks the same And I think I'd want to really kind of try it again to see if I could follow along enough or better so I didn't have to go backwards and then end up with these kind of muddy areas. And right now I'm still just trying to get a little bit more movement, and I'm encroaching on these lighter areas, but hopefully not too much. The two yellow clouds. How about some highlights? Yeah, she comes in later and adds some highlights with white gouache. So I'm going to add some after. Those two yellow clouds in the center are carrying it for me. The ones up here at the top, is that making it more believable? I actually could wish if I just took a little bit of water and could just kind of blend out so that these lines were a little softer, I would be happy with that. But that's when you start getting into the muddiness. So yeah. So let's see. She still has like a lot more video and a lot more layers, but I think if I keep doing what she does, then I'm going, oh, wait, she's going to gouache. Okay. So let me just see what she does here. And let me see if I can grab my gouache. All right. So she's going back in and adding highlights. And from watching this before, I know that she does them really concentrated at first, and then she comes in after with a dry brush. So I'm just going to go backwards a little bit. And I'm going to use my smallest, my size 2 for this. Just add in a little bit of water. I think she comes in after with like with just a pure like just using the gouache as itself. But she does mix it with water in the beginning. And I've gone past the area here. Here we go. So she's going along where these kind of highlights are. She didn't leave as much, as I said, I was trying to like learn from her mistakes. So she didn't leave as much yellow in it as before. So let's see. She's just going, I guess I'm going to go from the bottom and just add some highlights so that they would be at the bottom and of these sun areas. I think she calls this like interrupted painting as well, because you're not painting like a one full stroke. You're using more just like tiny little lines. And I think I'll just put just a little up here. And then I think she has more movement in her white than I do. So I'm just slowly trying to extend it and add a little bit more movement. And then she is taking pure gouache and a dry brush and a really tiny brush. Those highlights look good. Oh, thank you. Have a great afternoon. I'm gonna say it like a Norwegian would on the Mayetta. I don't know if that's good or bad, but you can correct me. Have a great afternoon, and I hope to see you again. So let's see. She's taking a small brush, and I have one here. She is using a dry brush and putting it just into gouache, and then she's extending the shapes. So she's coming not everywhere, but just in some areas. I think that's too wet. She's coming up and down just to give a little bit more sparkle. Just in certain areas. So should probably pick like the high points, I would guess. I'm picking up mostly gouache, but I am picking up a little bit of the water so that it's not too dry. I'm just adding some little dots in here. I also don't want it to be too uniform. That one got much bigger than I was expecting, so. But she's doing it mostly everywhere. Let me see how far she goes. She had a lot more down here, so I'm going to come back in. A lot more down at the bottom. So I'm going to add some more highlights here. I'm just adding little drops of paint so that I know where it is I want to actually put some. There's not so much up there, but she did add some dots on top. So I'm trying to get really small. This is a size 1 brush. I'll take some of the paint off. And then go, where was I? It's here. Too much paint. Come and share the load elsewhere. Can make it a little bit bigger. What are we thinking? Too much? Too little? I actually think I want to add just some kind of random highlights here and there, so it's not just so centric. Thoughts? Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like that. I think I went maybe a little overboard. But if I try and go backwards, then I'm going to just overwork it and mess it up again. But still, why don't I take the paintbrush to the canvas and do exactly what I said I don't want to do? All right, I'm putting the brush down. That's it. No more. Put these to here to dry. And let's take a look. If you were here in the beginning, I was having tape malfunctioning problems. I was using the heat gun so much that the tape just kept popping off. So then I had to add more tape in between to reinforce the tape that was reinforcing the tape. It was a whole big thing. But I guess a tape malfunction is better than a wardrobe malfunction. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you're my kind of person. Just landed at work, gonna lurk on the tablet while I set up. Oh my goodness, you're so funny. I'll try not to talk so much, or maybe I can be muted. All right. So I don't have as many variations. I'm looking at her final piece versus what I have. And I definitely want to try this again. I don't think I'm going to try it again today, though, because I will have to go and pick up my son in a little while. But I put tape just along the borders because I wanted to have nice clean borders, and then it was lifting off. If you have some good tape recommendations, that would be good. Take them. Actually, it didn't do too bad a job. I just right now use like painter's tape that you get at the market, but some of them, this is like a very light tack tape, which is great for the paper, but not so great if you want really sharp borders. And I do have to get more. So all right, I am going to do what she suggests, and she did this like in a whole watercolor mixed media sketchbook so that she could write down lessons learned. But I'm just going to do it on a sticky because that's what I have, and I didn't do it in a sketchbook because I don't have a multimedia sketchbook. So I am going to just write them down on a sticky. And she did this thing where she writes what she loved and what she learned. So I'm going to do the same. And sorry, my penmanship is not the best, but I think it's legible. So what I loved the sky. I went back in after and added some, there was a big wash of color, and you made this like the sun area, the sunset, and it was really light. And I used this mix of nickel azo yellow and new gamboge to get that color. It was really nice, and it's really soft along the edges, and that was perfect. And then I started doing the water, and I noticed how light the top was. So I went back in and I just used pure new gamboge and just added in some kind of highlights here, there, everywhere you see this orange. And I really like how that looked. I did also add in some more blue, which was just a really watered down version of the My Payne's Gray and My Blue Genuine. And I think the sky came out amazing. I really actually like that. So that's one thing I liked. What else did I love about this? Well, I loved learning about it, and I loved that I was able to kind of keep some highlights kept. I think I kept more highlights in mine than she did hers, and I actually like it. What I learned though is for the highlights, I would like to go probably from bigger up here at the top to really thin at the bottom. So next time I'll have to be really more conscious, I think, of where I'm placing the blue. So it goes from thick, medium, medium, little, thin, all the way down. I don't think it looks too bad, and I liked the highlights that I do have, but I think bigger to thinner is what I would like. And then I can't really say I love anything else about it. The sky is amazing. I love that part. I apparently I draw or I paint too straight a line. I just use my paintbrush, but I kind of wish that I had made the water a little bit more uneven, more natural in the back. But I'm not going to write that because I don't think it's that important. The other things I learned were, okay, don't go backwards. There are ways to fix watercolor, and what I did was not it. So don't go backwards, just go forward. I could have maybe gone in after with a lighter wash and got those colors back and blended, made them softer so it wasn't so intense. And then the other thing I learned was to really control the pigment better so that I didn't have to go backwards. I think I overdid it on the highlights too. So I'll just write less white. I don't think it looks bad again, but I think my sparkles are too many. Too many sparkles. So, thoughts? Do you guys agree? How does it look? Are you going to try it yourself? All questions I would like to know. And I'm not going to sign this because this is a practice and I'm going to keep it. I will try another one for sure. And I think I'll mix in, I think I'll stay with the same nickel azo yellow and new gamboge mix for the sky. I think the nickel really added that nice dull kind of soft look, and then the new gamboge came in and said party. But what do you guys think? I'd really like to know. Did I miss a lesson learned? I kind of wish that I had added, what's so hard is I really need to like put this away for a couple hours and then like look at it across a room, because I'm here like, oh no, look at this line right here, it's so dark and you can see where it ends. And you're not supposed to look at work that way. Uh, but I'm too close to it. So, I don't know. Maybe if I squint. They say if you squint. Well, if I squint, it looks pretty good. But then again, these look, you can't tell that there's a contrast here because it's just all so dark. I lost a lot of the lighter blue gray color, I think. But I'm also very critical, so it looks so good. I hope so. I think so. I'm in love with the sky though. So if we just did this, oh my goodness, I'd be such a happy camper. But you can't do that. I don't know. The email again. This was the 10-day challenge, and I was debating whether or not I was going to do all 10 days on stream. I really don't think I can. I have a not really busy week, but I do have some other things going on, and I'm streaming much later than I normally do because I had to take my son to the eye doctor today just for like a checkup. So I think I will stream again. I'll definitely be here on Friday, but maybe I can try and squeeze something in tomorrow as well and do day 2 because I'm not going to have time later today to do day 2. I am always a happy camper. I can see that. And I pronounced it right. So that's like 2 good things. Yeah. But maybe I'll see if I can squeeze in something tomorrow. I would look on my phone, but my phone is what is recording. Let me see if I can grab it online. If I can come in tomorrow and do day 2. All of the pictures that she had from this challenge were amazing. And if I could manage to do better and learn, which I've already done, then that would be really good. So I think tomorrow I can actually come in and do a stream and do day 2. So I'm going to try and do that. It'll probably be, I don't know what time it is for you guys. Right now it is 3:15 in the afternoon for me. And I will probably start at 11 a.m. tomorrow, which was 4 hours from now, 4 hours before now for you guys. And I think I can give it a go. Maybe I'll try this one again. I won't have to watch the video so as much. Maybe I'll just keep it on as like a reminder of what to do when. I'm really hoping to let a lot more of that lighter blue shine. And I think maybe I'll just write a little note here for myself. Maybe I'll switch to a smaller brush earlier. That's not how you spell that. Maybe that would actually help me preserve a lot of the lighter blue. I'm not sure, but I think it's worth trying, right? I'll probably have work at that time, but hopefully we'll catch you again soon. I'll also be back on Friday. I don't know what time Friday starts. I did a thing and oh my goodness, what just happened here? I added in a schedule. Uh, I'm clueless with this stuff, guys. I'm such a noob with all of this Twitch stuff. Okay. I did add a schedule. I don't know what I put down on it though. So I'm just gonna. I can't see it. I can't see it because I'm live. That's why. All right. I don't know what time it is, what time it's supposed to be, but it's probably. You know, what time do I start usually? I don't know. Probably late morning for me. So it's going to be around 3 to 5 hours before now, I would guess. So if you're here, I'd love to have you. If you're not here, then maybe you can watch the rerun, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't have answers. I just watched Twitch. You were light years ahead of me. Well, I can share with you what I've learned. The only problem is that I use a Linux machine, and everything, all the videos out there on how to do this stuff is like Mac and Windows, and I don't have that. So I can give you my workarounds, but I don't know if they'll work for you. Yeah, but I'm happy to share. Very happy to share. But I think that's about it now for me. I'm actually going to be cutting it a little early. Usually I like to stream about 3 hours, but I wouldn't be able to start a new one uh, and get any really good amount done before I have to get my son. So yeah, no dramas. I'm sure our paths will cross in the future. Yes, maybe I can even get something going on a Sunday because then everyone is usually around. Um, but that's a lot of streaming. I also do a just chatting series with my friend on Mondays and Thursdays, and we either just sit at the kitchen table and laugh at stupid stuff, or we're driving around doing errands and we laugh at even more stupid stuff. So that would be like 4 or 5 streams in a week, which is a lot. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day there. Thank you for watching. Thank you again for the raid. Whew, that was amazing. That was a really good feeling. And thank you for sticking by. And I will see you again. I'm not going to put it on the schedule if I stream tomorrow. I'm just going to stream. So if you can come and watch day 2 and maybe a remake of this one, that'd be great. And if you can't, then hopefully I'll see you soon. And my normal scheduled stream is on Friday. So thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate it. And I really loved having someone to talk to and someone talk back to me. I really love that. Take care of yourself. Have a great day. And I'll see you soon. Bye.